皆さん、こんばんは。時間になりましたので、とんがりイノベーターズチャンネル第11回ですね。今日は英語で、セミナーを開催いたします。今日はですね、イギリス・ロンドンに本部を置く世界トップクラスの理工系大学であるインペリアル・カレッジ・ロンドンの中でもですね、学生とポスドクを対象とした起業家教育センターであるインペリアル・インペリアルエンタープライズラボの代表でいらっしゃるサラ・ランチェフ・ヘイルさんをお招きしまして、そのラボがどういう活動をしているか、割ととんがりと似た活動をされているんですけれども、どういう活動をされているのかっていうのをお話しいただきます。今日の流れですけれども、だいたい20分から30分ぐらいでサラさんにお話しいただいて、その後ですね、ここまでは英語なんですけれども、その後ですね、今回のコーディネーターであり、これからちょっと MC を譲るんですけれども、山根明夫さんに、日本語で解説をしていただきます。というので、ずっと英語、ブリティッシュ、イングリッシュでちょっと難しいわと思う方も最後の方になれば、まとめて日本語で話していただきますので、安心して聞いていただければと思います。その後ですね、10分から15分 Q&A セッションを設けまして、で、終了とさせていただきます。で、Q&A はですね、Q&A セッションのところに日本語でも英語でもどちらでも入れていただきまして、随時入れていただければと思います。で、チャットボックスのところに入れていただいても構いません。ということで、早速ですけれども、I would like to introduce the coordinator of this seminar. So, 秋代さん。
皆さんこんばんは。山根です。I'm very happy to introduce ICL, Imperial College London's Enterprise Lab, or head of that lab, Ms. Sarah Lanches Hale. So, to cut time, let's get started. So, Sarah, are you ready?
I am. Thank you very much.
So
yes.
Could you please start your session?
Of course. Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me here this evening for you guys, this morning for us. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Imperial College London and the work that we do at the Imperial Enterprise Lab. So for those of you that don't know, the Imperial College London is one of the top universities in England. We focus on science, technology, engineering, medicine, and business. And we have just over 18,000 full-time students representing more than 140 different nationalities. And Imperial College is regularly ranked in the top 10 universities in the world. We have a large number of different institutes, 11 global institutes, including the Energy Futures Laboratory, the Gandhi Centre for Inclusive Innovation, the Grantham Institute for Climate Change, and many, many more. In terms of what we teach and where our areas of research lie, we have 4 faculties at the college: the Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Natural Sciences, and Imperial College Business School. And you can see here some of the different departments that sit within those faculties at the college. I've added a link here if you wanted to find out more about any of those faculties or areas that we focus on at Imperial. But today I'm going to talk to you more about Enterprise, which is the division that I sit in and that the Enterprise Lab sits in. But I'm going to give you some context as to what Enterprise does. So we sit across all 4 faculties and we focus on a few different areas. So starting with research partnerships. So we partner with businesses on impactful research to address real world challenges. So our world leading academics at Imperial and experts work closely with businesses all around the world to shape bespoke research collaborations that lead to new technologies and insights, and they are tailored to each company's individual needs. We have nearly 4,000 leading academics at Imperial who are ready to share their expertise in science, engineering, medicine, and business. And they work with as consultants for the college. So our consultancy services include advisory, use of specialist equipment and training, testing and analysis for organizations really of any size. And our consultancy team is here to help companies find the right solutions to real world problems. We have transformational technology. So our academics invent in a really wide range of commercial and industrial fields, and different companies and industry can license our technologies and work with our startups at Imperial in as varied fields as automotive, energy, electronics, diagnostics, therapeutics, and many, many more. We have a projects and ventures team that offer specialist support with project management, commercial governance, including legal issues, finance, risk management, and public engagement. And we work with professional teams and academics on complex projects, startups, and commercial ventures. There's a piece here around talent and ideas. So we are home to a talented generation of entrepreneurial students and researchers, and industry collaborators can meet the community and discover their technologies, find out about their ideas, and work with our talent through entrepreneurial programs and accelerators, which is where my role sits at Imperial, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. We have a membership program, Imperial Business Partners, and corporates can join that membership network and have access to a range of specialist services and member events that are curated especially for them. We offer tailored advice and training, technology showcases and events, and we guide companies through Imperial's innovation landscape to find exactly what their business needs. We have a thriving community of entrepreneurs. We have business growth hubs that offer specialized startup support and to establish companies too, and give them the chance to be part of a community of West London innovators in our White City campus, and the opportunities to network, share ideas, and access training and support. And this entrepreneurial community is supported with space and facilities, including meeting rooms, wet labs, and prototyping equipment. And finally, we have future insights. So we help companies future-proof their business with access to cutting-edge research. We have visionary academics, and we can help companies understand the impact of new technologies and scientific breakthroughs, helping businesses get ahead of their competitors. So Enterprise does a huge amount of work with industry and research. And I'm going to tell you more about my specific role. So I'm Sarah Ranchev-Hale. I'm head of the Imperial Enterprise Lab, and I'm delighted to tell you more about the work that we do. The Enterprise Lab has a mission at Imperial College to inspire, educate, and nurture the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs at Imperial College London. Here are some of our entrepreneurs from the college, and delighted to tell you a bit about some of them. So we have a huge number of students, alumni, and postdocs that work with us through workshops, through cohort-based programs, accelerators, and other activities. And I'll give you a few examples. So just here in the middle, kind of in the middle of the slide, we have Olivia Arn, Dr. Olivia Arn, who is studying medicine at Imperial College London. And Olivia and her co-founder have created the very first certifiable and flushable sanitary pad, eliminating hundreds of thousands of tons of plastic that go into our water systems and into landfill every year. We also have Nate down here on the bottom right. Nate has created an affordable and comfortable upper limb prosthetic that he supplies to the National Health Service that people can buy directly online. And this is making these prosthetics far more affordable for the community. We also have the people in the green lab coats. This is a company called FA Bio, who have created an alternative to fertilizer, which is a sustainable and better for the environment. And then we have Shellworks. Shellworks have created an alternative to plastics made out of shellfish waste. So our companies really are changing the world with some of the products and services that they're creating and having an impact in health and well-being, in the environment, and lots of other fields. Imperial College London has been rated as the place to go for go-getters and entrepreneurs by the Guardian newspaper, and you can read more on this article. The link is here for you to find out more. And we really do see ourselves as one of the best universities in the world for innovation and entrepreneurship. And I'm going to tell you more about some of the statistics around that and the impact in a moment. We were rated as #1 in Europe for student entrepreneurs by City AM and 5th globally. A few statistics for you. We have a £90,000 prize fund for one of our entrepreneurship competitions, the Venture Catalyst Challenge. This is the UK's largest entrepreneurship competition prize, and we regularly see 25 teams attend this programme per year. The teams that have joined the Venture Catalyst Challenge since 2014 have raised well over £150 million in external investment and grant funding. We have given out close to £200,000 in grant funding to our community each year. And our startups that come through the Enterprise Lab and through the Imperial entrepreneurship ecosystem have a 79% 3-year survival rate, which is compared to 10% globally and 50% in London. So they have a very strong chance of being successful coming through our programs and activities. I mentioned at the beginning, we have around 18,000 students at Imperial College London, and each year the Enterprise Lab supports 2,500 unique students every year. And usually we see about 1 in 8 of the student body every year. In terms of statistics, again, we have around 340 startups incorporated, so registered in the UK since 2014. And those startups since 2016 have raised well over £420 million in investment and grant funding to help launch and scale their businesses. In 2020 to 21 alone, we saw 52 companies incorporate, so register as an official business. And those companies alone raised £90 million in funding. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we've worked with other universities and our international work that we do as an enterprise lab. So around 18 months ago, we worked with the University of Ghana on a project called Connecting Accra. We worked with the University of Ghana and an accelerator in Accra to co-create the University of Ghana's first entrepreneurship program for students. We launched that program with 25 teams and supported them through a 4-month program. And we're now launching a program across Ghana with 3 more universities in the country to launch their own entrepreneurial ecosystem. In terms of other international activities, we run a program called the Global Challenge Lab. This is now in its 3rd year and will launch in July 2023. This program is in partnership with Tsinghua University in China and the Technical University of Munich in Germany, and it includes 20 more university partners across the world, across 6 continents. And the purpose of this program is to bring together students from all over the world to come together, form interdisciplinary and cross-institutional teams to come up with new products or services that address the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So in year 1, we focused on good health and well-being. In year 2, we focus on climate action. And year 3, this July, we'll be focusing on UN Sustainable Development Goal 7, which is affordable and clean energy. In this program, there is a £10,000 prize fund, and the students work together over 10 days with around 40 hours of online content to work together to create new solutions to UN SDGs. We have delivered this program across 2 different time zones, so students all over the world can be sure to join so that it's not in the middle of the night for them. And all of the content is recorded so that if students miss the content, they can watch it back later. Other international activities that we've run out of the Enterprise Lab is we've taken some of our startups and our teams to different parts of the world to explore the entrepreneurial ecosystem and find out more. So this photograph here, we took 5 teams to San Francisco, to Silicon Valley, to find out about launching their business or scaling their business in the US, and also about investment in the USA. We've hosted different delegations. So in about 2 years ago, we hosted a delegation from Ampratech, an accelerator in Brazil, and they came, they virtually visited us in London to find out more about what it would be like to launch their business or register their business in the UK and the UK entrepreneurial ecosystem. For universities, we have the network for coaching and mentoring entrepreneurs, where we bring together entrepreneurship educators and program managers from all around the world to develop their practice in coaching and meet members and share information. I thought I would go into a bit more detail about the Enterprise Lab and some of the work that we do. So we have separated the activities that we run into 3 sections, depending on where our students are in their entrepreneurial journey. So the first one is connecting. It's around students who may not have a business idea yet, but they want to find out more and they want to grow entrepreneurial skills and their own network. The second part is exploring. They might have an idea already, but they need the fundamental skills to understand how to test their business idea and some of the practical skills on what to do next. We have the validate section, which is where they may already have a team and they have a business idea and they're ready to join a program or to develop that idea further. And finally, grow. They have a business or a business idea that's relatively advanced and they want to launch and grow that venture. So I'll start with Connect, what we do at the Enterprise Lab in order to support those students at this stage. We have a co-working space at South Kensington that all of our students, alumni, and early career researchers are welcome to use. It's a very fun space, a collaborative space that is open most days for people to use when they need it. We have a monthly community collider. This event is an opportunity for members of the community to come together and meet each other. We run structured networking, and at this monthly event, we invite different entrepreneurs to come and speak about their experiences. So this is a low stress way to find out more, meet new people, and potentially find your future co-founder. We run a termly idea challenge. Idea challenge is for students that maybe don't have an idea yet, but they want to find out more about entrepreneurship and understand the skills about ideation and developing a new idea for entrepreneurship. This is a half-day workshop. And during this workshop, we put students into teams and help them solve a challenge or come up with a new idea that might solve a challenge. So it could be about climate change, or it could be about health and well-being, or it could be natural hazards. There's many different topics that we cover. And we want students to leave this workshop with a team and with a strong business idea that they might want to take forward. The next section is around exploring. So they have an idea and they want to test it. We run a series of idea surgeries, and an idea surgery is an opportunity for individuals to come and speak to a member of the team, talk through their idea, and we will suggest to them resources and next steps to move their idea forward. This is the first step that often students will take to find out more about what's accessible to them and whether they're appropriate for some of our programs and other activities. So it's almost like a triage service to route students and ideas into other activities that we're running. And here are some different members of the team that they might see if they come to an idea surgery. We run monthly how-to masterclasses. These are open to everybody in the community, and they cover things like how to deliver a great pitch, what might be some things you need to consider around legals if you're creating a startup, how to write a business plan, and also the financials of your startup. These are both online and face-to-face, and there's no pre-work required. And you don't have to have a startup to come to these. Some of the content of these sessions may be relevant, even if you're not thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. In the next stage, we have validate. So this is for individuals who may already have a team, or if they're a solo entrepreneur, but they've already done some work on their business and they want to take it to the next level and join a cohort-based program. 8 years ago, we launched a program called We Innovate. We Innovate is for women-led startups. So the team lead must identify as a woman, and this is a 6-month program, and it's a fairly early stage. So the startups will have an idea, but they won't have done a huge amount of work on their startup yet. We deliver a whole program of masterclasses, business coaching, peer mentoring, and we have a £30,000 prize fund. So these teams are absolutely exceptional. And every year we run a large final, a demo day, where the top 5 teams from this program pitch to an audience of around 300 to 400 people. We also have a program called the Venture Catalyst Challenge. This is now in its 10th year. And the Venture Catalyst Challenge is Imperial's flagship entrepreneurial competition. And each year we welcome 25 teams to join this program across 5 industry verticals. This is the program that has the largest entrepreneurial prize fund at any UK university, with £90,000 to give away. It's around 3 months long. And at the end of the program, similarly to We Innovate, the top 5 teams will pitch to an audience of 400 to 500 people, and that's where we'll award the prizes for that program. Another program that we run is the Summer Accelerator. This takes place in the summer and is a business coaching and mentoring program over 12 weeks of the summer. 6 teams will join us and have a series of bespoke activities created for them. And they will receive a grant of £1,500 and the chance to win the grand prize of £5,000. And finally, in the Grow section that I mentioned earlier, for students, alumni, and early career researchers that maybe are more advanced in their entrepreneurial journey and need expert support or help to grow their venture, we have an activity called Experts in Residence. We have over 100 experts in more than 25 different subject areas, anything from intellectual property to marketing, design, team building, and anything else you can think of. And many of these experts run their own businesses or startups or work for large firms and have very in-depth knowledge about a particular area. Our community can book a one-to-one session with these individuals to help them develop their business, and very bespoke to their specific circumstances. We run well over 12,000 hours a year of coaching, and students would normally access this service through an idea surgery that I mentioned before. We have an Imperial Venture Mentoring Service, which is a mentoring service that pairs our most promising startups with external mentors. The mentors themselves have raised billions for their startups, and these mentors span a wide range of industries and sectors, and are the best people to really propel our startups out and beyond Imperial. The mentors are typically serial entrepreneurs, C-suite execs, or subject sector specialists. In the more advanced suite of activities that we run, we have We Accelerate. We Accelerate launched last year and is the follow-on program from We Innovate. We Accelerate is supporting women-led teams who are seeking to raise investment in the next 6 to 12 months. So this really focuses on getting them investor ready and supporting them in fundraising. It's a 5-month program, really focusing on coaching and mentoring. And then at the college, we also have a facility called Imperial Advanced Hackspace. The Hackspace is our physical prototyping space. It's a world-class prototyping hub based on our White City campus, and it has 3 purpose-designed prototyping workspaces. So electronics and digital manufacturing, mechanical and biolab, and we also have a team of hack fellows on hand to support and help you to use the latest equipment to bring your ideas to life. You don't need to have any previous experience. The hack fellows will help you build your prototype. So anybody can join, even if they don't have the technical capabilities. That's the point of the space, to help you achieve those skills and develop your prototype. And then we have a whole load of other activities. We have a magazine that we run every year. This is downloadable on our website and really goes into details about what's happening on campus, some insights into our community, the different work that entrepreneurs are doing, and some success stories. We have a monthly newsletter as well called Disrupt that will give information about the Imperial ecosystem, but also about other opportunities and activities internationally that students and alumni might like to join. If you want to stay in touch with us at the Enterprise Lab, there is some links here and ways to find out more about the work that we do, both on social media and also our website, which has more details about all of the programs that I've just mentioned to you. I've mentioned this one. So I thought I'd give you a couple of examples just to finish off about some of our teams. So this team here is Charco Neurotech. Charco is restoring the quality of life for people with Parkinson's. It's a wearable device that utilizes pulse cueing and focused vibrotactile stimulation to reduce symptoms and the slowness that's associated with Parkinson's disease. So they're really supporting the patient in this startup, and they've been incredibly successful. Lucy is the co-founder and CEO and was on our Innovation Design Engineering course in 2019. We have Dharma Health. Dharma Health were on the Summer Accelerator program I mentioned before, and they were also on the We Accelerate program. And they have a product that helps match women to the right contraception. They were from the management program and innovation entrepreneurship. And then we have Dash Rides. So Dash Rides are an MBA student, David Watkins, is the COO and one of the founders, and it's a e-bike subscription service that's doing very well in London at the moment. So I'm happy to take any questions that you might have about Imperial Enterprise Lab or Imperial more broadly. I hope you found that insightful, and I'm very happy to follow up with any more information you might like. Thank you.
Thank you for the great, nice presentation, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So in order to cut time again,
we have one question from audience. So I'll share all the participants. So question 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
can you read the question in chat box?
I can see question 1. Do you want me to answer?
Yes, could you?
Yes. So the question was, it's difficult for already busy students and postdocs to find spare time to take part in this program besides their own research and studies. How is the university encouraging them? This is a really great question. Fantastic question. And many of the ideas that our students have come out of their research or studies. So it might be a project that they're working on or an assessed piece of work. And in the cases of a PhD or a postdoc, specifically the research that they're working on. So we make sure that all of our program, or as much of our programmatic activity as possible, is in the evening. So we would run many of the program workshops on a Wednesday or Tuesday evening in order for people to be able to attend. So it doesn't clash with their studies or with their work, etc. For some of these programs, there also is an online option. So, the coaching and mentoring piece here, the idea surgeries are around your own schedule and can be done in the evening or at lunchtime. So we try to facilitate that wherever we can. There's also a piece here around time management. So the College Learning and Development Service will help students and staff with the time management and how to develop those skills in order to make sure that their academic work doesn't suffer. So all of our activities are extracurricular. So they are not for credit. So we try to help and support students to manage that alongside their studies.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. So
Shall I go to next session?
yeah, I want to ask one question. Is it okay? So thank you for your informative, wonderful presentation. So I'm very surprised 1 out of 8 students participate in your program, and your program started just 7 years ago. So it's the same as our program. So how to build your brand or reputation in such a short time?
So, I mean, we have the program content is very strong. So students will tell each other year on year. So we would use student startups from previous years to speak about their experiences and kind of share that information. There's also a network of academics and supporters of the entrepreneurial work that we do. So we regularly give information to and share information with academics and support staff across the university to share the information to our student body. And we also have a very strong marketing manager. So the marketing manager does a lot of work in making sure that we're speaking to the students and communicating what we do to the students in the right tone, and it's an exciting place to be because nobody has to come to use our service. Because it's extracurricular, it's up to the student to decide if they want to come and use the service. So that marketing manager works very hard on the newsletter, the social media accounts. We have a community on Slack, so the messaging platform, where we'll promote lots of different activities, not just our own, but other universities and other external providers' opportunities. We want students and alumni to use that, not just to find out about Imperial, but to also find out about the entrepreneurial ecosystem elsewhere as well. So it's a central hub for activities that are happening.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we don't have marketing managers, so I want to hire.
The other thing we do have is we also use students. So we have student ambassadors. So we have a suite of students who come and help us. So they might help us with events, marketing, other activities, and we pay them to support us. And they're an important part of our community.
Yeah, I totally understand. So word of mouth from students is very strong. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
So, Akio-san,
Okay. Yeah, it's
start your presentation.
Yeah, presentation, and I'm very impressed by your variety of services and functions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Following Sarah's presentation, let me take my part. そう、皆さん、じゃあ次、私の方からちょっともう少し別な角度で、ご紹介をしたいと思います。スライドしますね。あ、これじゃなんだよな。すみません。ご覧になりますでしょうか。はい。 それでは、カムジャパンの山根でございます。早速、インペリアルカレッジロンドン、科学で時代を切り開くというタイトルでお話をさせていただきます。先ほど紹介もありましたが、世界大学ランキングの10位に、ランクインされているということで、タイムズ・ハイヤー・エデュケーションが毎年発表されている世界大学ランキングです。2023年度版では、104の国と地域、それから1799の大学が網羅されています。教育、研究、知識移転、国際的展望、そういった4大分野において、大学のパフォーマンスを13の指標によって測定し分析をするという形でこのランキングが作られております。インペリアルカレッジロンドンは10位、1位から10位、日本語で書いてますけれども、オックスフォード大学、7年連続1位を誇っておりますけれども、ハーバード、それから3位にはケンブリッジ、スタンフォード、こういった名だたる大学が並んでおります。ちなみにですが、日本から最高位で東京大学が39位、京都大学が68位ということになっております。こちらの数字はですね、インペリアルカレッジロンドンの評価項目の中から4つの指標を挙げています。18,544 人というのが FTE 学生数でございまして、フルタイムイクイバレント、FTE 学生数という、概念があるそうですけれども、それの数字ですね。それから 11.2 人というのが、職員1人当たりの学生数。それから注目すべきはですね、61%、これが外国人の学生割合。それから、女性と男性の比率が40対60ということで、理系の大学は普通、男子の比率が多いんですけれども、ICL は理系女が多いということになっています。そうです、ごめんなさい。1907年に3つのカレッジを統合した形で設立がされました。ロンドンの中心部、サウスケンジントンに本拠地を置いております。それからさっきサラから話があったように、ホワイトシティというキャンパスも大きなキャンパスがございます。科学、工学、医学に重点を置いておりまして、後年ビジネススクールを併設しております。モットーが、ここに書かれているラテン語なんですが、私はラテン語よく知りませんけれども、Scientia Imperii Dicas et Tutamen というものをモットーにしておりまして、知識が帝国を装飾し、守るものだというような意味だそうです。大英帝国の、その心意気というものが表されているんだと思います。インペリアルカレッジロンドンはビクトリア朝時代に源流を発しておりまして、大学の玄関にはビクトリア女王の像が飾られています。右の写真は2007年100周年の記念式典に出席された前国王エリザベス女王の在りし日のお姿です。大変たくさん優秀な卒業生を輩出しておりまして、ノーベル賞受賞者は14名、そのうちのお一人は、世界初の抗生物質、ペニシリンを発見したアレクサンダー・フレミング、いらっしゃいます。また、異色な存在では、ロックバンドのクイーンのギター奏者、ブライアン・メイ、彼は宇宙物理学の博士号を取っています。ちなみにH.G. ウェールズの宇宙もののこの SF なんですが、地球を殲滅する勢いで火星人が攻撃してくるんですけれども、最後、原因不明で火星人が突然死しちゃうんですね。それで地球は滅亡から救われるんですが、その死亡させた原因となったのは地球上の病原菌であったと。昨今のコロナ禍を予言するかのごとき、巨匠の作品です。先ほど申し上げましたように、ロンドンの中心部、西の方に位置しております。チェルシー、ケンジントン地区の中の、サウスケンジントンに本拠地があります。 キャンパスの北側にはハイドパークが広大な公園ですけれども広がっています。その東の方にはバッキンガム宮殿があります。大学を囲んで、四角で囲ったいくつかの有名な建物、北の方からロイヤル・アルバート・ホール、王立音楽大学、科学博物館、ロンドン自然史博物館、からビクトリア・アルバート博物館などがあり、非常に教養と文化にあふれた地区でございます。この写真は先ほどの地図を左側、つまり西側から眺めたものです。写真左の円筒状で天井がドームになっているのがロイヤル・アルバートホールで、有名な音楽コンサートが開かれたり、ICL の卒業式はこちらで行われます。写真中央にそびえる、塔がございますが、これがビクトリア女王を記念して建てられたクイーンズタワー。です。カレッジのキャンパスの中心にそびえております。次にちょっと動画をご覧いただきたいと思います。YouTube から拾いました。
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take you guys to the
皆さんをインペリアルカレッジのツアーにお連れします。
Here, this building is the Royal College of Music.
ロイヤルカレッジ・オブ・ミュージックですね。1882年設立。約140年前ですね。
Now we are heading towards the Royal School of
ロイヤルスクール・オブ・マイン。
comprises of departments like Earth Science,
地球科学、
and Materials.
工学、
This building also
材料、
comprise of Center
こうい
for
った学科、
Advanced Structural Ceramics, parts of
先進化構造セラミック、ロンドンナノテクノロジー、
Bioengineering.
バイオエンジニアリングなどの学科があります。
School of Mines. These are the beautiful buildings.
このエリアは非常に美しい建物に囲まれています。
And most of the buildings are the embassies of the different
ほとんどが、各国の大使館などがございます。
Now we are heading towards the Imperial Business School.
インペリアルビジネススクールに向かっています。
This road is called the Exhibition Road, and this is the main entrance.
この道はエキシビションロード。
Imperial Business School.
こちらが玄関ですね。インペリアルビジネススクールの
This
正面玄関。
is the Department of Mechanical Engineering.
機械工学科の建物。
This is the Science Museum.
これがサイエンスミュージアムです
Imperial
ね。
College London campus.
キャンパスの中にあると言ってもいいようです。
This building is the Victoria Albert
これが
Museum.
ビクトリア・アルバート博物館。美術品をたくさん収蔵していま
And
す。
here we go. This is the Natural History Museum.
自然
This
史
is
博
the
物館。
home for 80 million items.
8000万点の展示があります。
It was collected by the Charles
中に
Darwin.
はチャールズ・ダーウィンの標本がございま
This
す。
is the beautiful Queen's Lawn, which is in front
非
of
常に美しい芝生に囲まれている
and this is
図書
the
館、
magnificent
それから
structure, which is the
クイーンズ
Queen's
タワーですね。壮大な建物です。
And now we are walking towards the Alexander Fleming
アレクサン
building.
ダー・フレミングの建物
And
で
this
す。
is the Alexander Fleming building. And here is the Kempton building.
スケンプトンビルディングという名前です。もう一つの建
This is one of the fascinating projects which I saw on
非
the
常に面白い
campus.
プロジェクト、
That is the hydrogen-fueled car.
水
which
素
I
燃
think
料
is
自
a
動車で
part
すね
of。mechanical engineering project, and I think this is sponsored by Toyota.
トヨタが、スポンサーのようです。
And now we are seeing the Huxley Building.
ハクスレイビルディングです。
And this is the Imperial College London. I hope you guys like this video. And if you guys have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do subscribe. Hey guys,
私が見たインペリアルの特色強みということで3つ挙げております。昨年、こちらの方で仕事をする機会を得ました。世界各国、ごめんなさい、インターナショナルユニバーシティ、スペシャリストユニバーシティ、それからリサーチケーパビリティの観点で3つ挙げたいと思います。世界各国から多くの学生が集まって、61% 外国人留学生ということですね。から海外の研究機関との提携が多い。当然ながら国際的な機会が数多く創出されております。科学、工学、医学、ビジネスに特化しているというところに大きな特徴があります。専門性に、特化している、専門性に特化しているということでは英国でもユニーク。先ほどの世界大学ランキングでもですね、テクノロジー部門では世界の4位なんですね。それからヨーロッパでは1位というところで特徴がございます。3番目のリサーチケーパビリティの一つのケーススタディとして、さっき名前も挙がってましたけれども、エナジーフューチャーラボ、こちらございます。このラボは7つの研究所のうちの1つでございます。さまざまな、提唱をし、産業界、政府、社会全般に貢献する新しい、機会を特定し、先導しながら、グローバルなエネルギーの課題に取り組んでいます。それからエネルギー革新を促進し、持続可能なエネルギーの未来のための体系的なソリューションの推進、こういったことを目的としています。私の体験を踏まえて、勝手に選んだ写真ですけれども、いくつかの写真をお見せします。こちらが正面玄関、それからロビー、正面ロビーですね。受付ですね。申し上げました。こういったポスターが貼られていました。先ほど理系所が多いと申しましたけれども、学内で見かけたポスターに書かれていた表題には、Imperial Women in Engineering Inspiring Our Future ということで、非常に心強く感じました。左が並木道、それからクイーンズタワー。レンタサイクルがいくらでも借りられるような環境にございます。学食の風景。このカツカレーが人気のメニューの一つです。24時間いつもオープンしている図書館の様子です。一緒に仕事をした仲間、同僚と学内のパブで過ごしたひとときの写真です。非常にいい経験をしました。フレンドリーで非常にアットホームな雰囲気が伝わるかと思います。最後に英国と日本をつなぐカームジャパンを紹介させていただきます。英国を中心に最新テクノロジーの紹介や現地進出、マーケティングで我々がいろんなサービスをご提供します。英国総領事館や商社、メーカーで豊富な経験を持つマネジメント、コンサルタント、スタッフがプロジェクトの開始から完了まできめ細かくサポートいたします。阪急梅田駅にほど近いカームジャパンのオフィス、この周りには大阪ならではのおいしいお店もたくさんございます。どうぞお気軽にご相談ください。どうもご清聴ありがとうございました。はい。
はい、秋尾さんありがとうございました。じゃあ、サラさんに戻っていただいて、一つ、質問が来ているので、サラさん、we have one more question. So, can you see the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so great question. The question is, how do we motivate the students to come and explore entrepreneurship? So it's a really good question. And I think some of this is through the early stage entrepreneurial activities that we run that are not, there's no preparation required. It's more about coming and finding out more. So some of the workshops that I mentioned before, the idea challenge, the monthly workshops, and the community collider are great ways to get people an entry to entrepreneurship. But also what we find at Imperial is, being a science, technology, engineering, medicine focused university, is that the students are working on a cutting edge innovation as part of their research, as part of their course. And they realize sometimes that they found something innovative and unique, and they want to bring it to market. And a lot of the time it will start with solving a problem. So they've solved a problem maybe in health or in a climate related or sustainability, and they have a passion and drive to solve that problem. So they're very, very motivated from the beginning. And we try to give them as much support as possible to keep them motivated, to keep the sessions interactive, engaging, and fun. So most of the content is fun to work through, so they want to come back.
Thank you very much. So it's a very similar question from the previous one. So I think so many students in Japan, or many students at prestigious university like yours, want to work for large company after graduation, but you motivate entrepreneurship. So we want to know more about your activity.
Thank you for the question. So I think many of our students that come through the Enterprise Lab will not be entrepreneurs. They will learn the entrepreneurial skills, or they'll work on an idea and they'll go and do something else. And I think where we focus is on skills development rather than venture development. So how do we give students the entrepreneurial skills to go and work in a large company? And how do they speak about that and articulate what skills they've learned throughout the entrepreneurial process? So it's about entrepreneurial skill set and leadership development. And it's great, they met so many of them become entrepreneurs and launch their own business, but a large number of them don't do that. And how do we inspire them and help them to go into a large company and be entrepreneurial, this concept of intrapreneurship in an organization? We also talk about innovation. So how do you innovate in a company? How do you, challenge the status quo or find solutions to a problem in a large company? So really, I would say it's around skills development rather than venture creation is our focus.
I totally agree with your opinion. So all students or all people want to acquire entrepreneurship mindset and skill set, whatever the field they work. Yeah. So is there any question? Another question? 何か質問あればと思うんですけど、大丈夫でしょうか?
So may I ask some question instead of the auditors, the audience? Can I?
Yes, of course.
So it seems that you've got some support and cooperation from local communities. So you've got some assistance or the support from the expert outside the university in the community. So could you please speak about that?
Sure. Yeah. So we have a pool of experts I mentioned before, which have a very specific area of expertise, whether that be legal expertise or business development or marketing or fundraising. And they are largely volunteers So they want to support our student community. They might be alumni, or they might have been recommended to us by somebody else, and they want to give back to the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs. So we've built that community up over a number of years in order to get to that number of supporters. And they do it because they want to give back to the young people or the students at the college. And also they want to be part of the Imperial community. So they get some benefits for being part of the community. They get to meet the next generation of innovators. They get to understand cutting edge technology and new products and services that are coming to market. And also they get to know each other. So they have their own community of experts. Similarly, with the mentoring program, we have around 90 mentors, and that is a voluntary role, and they have to be interviewed and vetted. So not anyone can join any of these services. They either have to be recommended or apply to be part of the service. And then we would make sure that they're interviewed and referenced, etc. And that we get regular feedback from the students. Again, they like being part of the community. We run a number of events for them, and we really appreciate their time and effort in being part of our community. So we want to make them feel appreciated. Yeah.
Very good. That's very good.
And we have additional question. Could you answer this?
Yeah. So this is a question about Japanese people tend to like a stable position and tend to avoid challenges. The Japanese characteristic may cause Japanese students to rarely choose a startup route. How enthusiastic UK students are to the challenge or to a startup compared with Japanese students. So this is where it's really interesting, the idea around student entrepreneurship, because there's a perceived less risk because you're studying. This isn't necessarily your job at this time. So you can explore entrepreneurship alongside your studies or close to your studies, rather than choosing entrepreneurship over a full-time, stable, permanent job, right? So if you are working on something as a student as part of your course, you can join some of these activities and programs to develop that idea alongside the course. And then when it comes to graduation time, that's when the decision needs to be made as to which route one wants to take. A lot of it will come down to finances as well. So you need the finances if you're not taking a permanent full-time job and developing those skills. So some of the grants and opportunities that we advertise and provide will help give them that funding or the skills and mechanisms to explore where you can find other funding. Some students or graduates might decide to do this alongside a job. So they might take a job and this might be something they do in tandem with that. But it really depends. And then also, they also need to convince their parents sometimes that they're not going to take a permanent full-time job, and convince them that this is something that is going to be successful. And throughout the program and activities that we run, we will help them articulate and get advice from the experts about whether they should be pursuing this. So if they've gone through one of our programs, by the end of the program, they should have had enough advice and enough support from industry, from the Enterprise Lab, potentially from academics, to say, yes, this is a good idea and it has commercial viability and it could be successful, in order to go and convince potentially their parents or other people in their life that this is the right route to take. But it's a risk, you know, there's a calculated risk attached to it. But we try to support them. And I think for us as a service, it's about being realistic with the students about what their options are. So we don't convince them that entrepreneurship is for them. They have to choose entrepreneurship. So we give them all of the opportunities to discuss with as many people as possible if they want to take that option. And sometimes they don't.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I found there are many common point of view with you.
Good.
Okay, so one or two more questions. Oh, three. Oh, sorry. It's almost a time, but if possible, could you answer any question?
Yeah. With regards to plans for a sequel to this seminar, I would love to go into more detail about some of the work that we're doing on more specific programs or activities that might be of interest. So I could spend a really long time speaking about just one program and the learnings that we've had from that one program and what our plans are for the future. So I would love to speak about that more. The second question about entrepreneurial mindset would have any thread with culture, lifestyle, education system, and so on. They may have the statistics of students from which countries. I don't have that to hand, but we do track all of our data around undergraduates, postgraduates, PhDs, early career researchers, the faculties that they come from, and whether they're a home or international student, and other metrics around diversity to make sure that we're supporting the entire community. But I could certainly put together some statistics around who engages with us. We tend not to track the country, but we tend to track the region that they might be from. And then another question, the core technology is still not enough for business. Will it be better to wait or start now? If you have any ideas. Okay, so I think this is a question here, if I understand it correctly, around having the business idea, but not yet having developed the technology to catch up with the business idea. And I think that's still something you can explore. So it's about finding out if there's a market for the technology that you're going to build. So speaking to potential customers or speaking to the user to find out what their pain points are. There's a great book called The Mum Test, which helps you ask questions to the people that you're trying to either sell your product to or let's say the user of the product, the end user. So I would strongly advise starting to do some of those interviews and speaking to people about the product, because that might inform how you build or develop the technology or the product you're creating. So understanding the pain points of the user is important at this stage. So you can still do that fundamental work, and I would strongly recommend it. People often think the technology needs to come first, but actually sometimes you build the technology based on the pain points or the problem that you're trying to solve.
Thank you very much. And it's almost a time, so thank you, Sarah-san and Akio-san, for great session. And I hope I would like to work with you in the near future.
Yes.
Me too.
Thank you. ということでですね、ちょっとお時間を押してしまいましたけれども、これで、とんがりのイノベーターズチャンネル第11回を終了いたします。ご参加いただいた皆様どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.